All right. Let's see here. It looks like I am live and I am putting my. Okay. Sorry. In order to get my mic. There we go. In order to get my mic right here, I needed to put it on my books, my college books that I should be using to do homework. But instead, I'm doing this live streaming thing because I've got no reason. Jeez, there we go. Okay. So this live stream, I wanted to do something different. I know you might have just seen the notification that I was going live, and then like all of a sudden I wasn't. That would be because I was testing something. It was supposed to. It was supposed to be unlisted, and I was going to actually go live, but I needed to figure something out, and I'm still trying to figure something out because I want to do something here. YouTube here. So I want to react to so I just posted a video called Hazbin Hotel Season 2 Theories, and I'm going to look that up on YouTube. Not that specific one, but just, yeah, these. So, yeah, this one right here. I'll react to these, and we're going to do some Hazbin Hotel stuff today. But first, I need to see if it is possible for me to share my screen. This one, I believe. Yeah. So I think this should be working. Let me check my phone and see if it's working on my end, because I don't know if it is or not. So let's just do this. I just realized I misspelled come hang. Calm hang. That's what I meant to say, actually. Yeah. That was what I meant to say. Okay, so let me see if I can get the webcam up. Unable to access it. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay, now my computer's running all weird. Hang on. Oh my God, wait. Is this working? I can't tell. So, wait a minute. Do I not have to have my face cam on manually? I'm not sure how this works. It's working. Okay. So we're going to react to some. Let me just log on and change the name of the stream before we get started real quick. Because, yeah, that's not going to work. I think I need to delete that one. Okay. Edit. I'm going to call it Hazbin Hotel Live, which is probably misleading, but that's all right. So what we're going to do, I believe it should be working now. Let's see here. Put on this and check my live. Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this or not. I'm going to use my old school account to see if the audio is working. Yeah, okay, it's working. Cool. So we are going to. Dang it, it's not what I wanted to do. Give me a second, and then we'll react to some Hazbin Hotel content. Because I posted so much Hazbin Hotel content, I want to see what other content is being posted. Okay, so it should be good now. Okay, let's get started. So I wanted to start off with some Hazbin Hotel Season 2 theories. I know I'm 21 and I'm legal, but I'm still sipping Sprite. How to be cheesy 101 with Connor Maloney. Okay, so we're going to react to some Hazbin Hotel Season 2 theories because I just posted a video about it and I wanted to go ahead and check out what other people were saying and what their theories were. So let me go ahead. Do this. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it with this. Let's see.
I knew I was underwater. I just didn't realize I was this underwater. If you're stressed,
we just had the epic release of the final 2 episodes of the first season of Hazbin Hotel, and we have so many different things to break down and theorize about over the next few weeks. So hit that subscribe button, as today's video will be a more general review with my thoughts on where Season 2 can go as a whole. Obviously, super massive spoilers ahead. Once you're done with this video, however, be sure to check out our second channel, Random Universe. We just put out a new animated short where Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog fight. Consider going there to complain about episode 8, which did.
Okay, let's
episode 6 was probably the most epic episode until this finale in episode 8, which did its best to be an Avenger-sized battle between the Exorcists and the Sinners of Hell, but they had to bridge the gap there with episode 7. Episode 6 had Charlie and Vaggie returning to Hell after failing to convince the Angelic Council that sinners can be redeemed, and Adam promising that at this next extermination, they will be going straight for her hotel. This episode also revealed that Vaggie was an exorcist, something we had theorized about, but in my theories, I figured that Charlie already knew. A princess of hell dating an angel from heaven and working together to start a rehabilitation center seemed like an easy premise. But with Vaggie actually having kept it a secret from Charlie, episode 7 dealt a lot with the fallout from that, while trying to set up episode 8. It starts out with Charlie being depressed, both because of her failures in heaven and because of Vaggie's secret, which Alistair uses as an opportunity to make a deal with Charlie promising to do one favor for Alistair at a future time in return for information that will help them, which is that Carmilla knows how to kill the Exorcist. Charlie agrees to this, with the clause being that she harms no one with her favor in the future, but I imagine by the end of Season 2 or 3, this decision will come back to haunt her. The setup for this kind of deal goes back to the pilot, where Alistair wanted to make a deal with Charlie just to help at the hotel, but Charlie refused and instead gave Alistair the order to help if he so chose. He agreed, likely seeing it as a way to stay close and eventually make another deal with Charlie when she is as desperate as she is, such as in episode 7. In addition to this, Alistair decides to help Charlie by introducing her to Rosie and the cannibal colony to try and start an army to fight back against the Exorcists. Vaggie, meanwhile, is sent off to meet with Carmilla about how she killed the Exorcist at the last extermination. This split after they went to heaven in the last episode was very dramatic,
love Adam.
with Charlie sending her off on her own mission because she simply can't deal with Vaggie at this point. Now, Rosie is very willing to help, and after a little song and dance, so are the other demons in the cannibal town. Vaggie, while sparring with Camilla, is given the revelation that the angelic weapons are what can kill the Exorcist, which makes sense and was pretty obvious, as Carmilla indicates. The real information that Carmilla was able to give Vaggie was insight into the flaws of her own fighting style, and thus the fighting style of the other Exorcists, who are not very well armored and are trained almost more like hunters than fighters, leaving them open to counterattacks when they're expecting targets to flee as opposed to fight back. In the end, Vaggie and Charlie make up because Charlie realizes that her hotel is a place of redemption, and that includes Vaggie, who I'm honestly surprised.
Okay, we're almost halfway through, and my problem with this video is that it's not even theories. Like, half of the video is just summarizing what happened in the last episode. I mean, that's fine, but like, that's half the video, so it seems like there's not going to be a whole lot of room for substance, because we still have the entire battle to go through. So I don't even know. I mean, maybe at the very end. Let me just try. Honestly, I think I should go with something else. Maybe this one. Hazbin Hotel Season 2 theory. That's literally what I typed in, actually.
Wait for another season. And here's what's probably...
I probably already started this.
With the final 2 episodes of Hazbin Hotel Season 1 recently released, and to critical and audience acclaim no less, Amazon Prime would be a slack-jawed, drooling idiot not to renew it for another season. And here's what's probably going to go on in it. I'm going to be doing a mix of catching you guys up and theorizing, so spoilers for the end of season 1, no shit. First off, Charlie will still be running the hotel, as it's now 3 times the size of the original, and after a successful battle, everyone in the crew is even more on board than before. After fending off the forces of heaven for the first time ever, Lucifer and Charlie have effectively canceled Hell's exterminations going forward. This also confirms when Charlie has the right motivation, she's one of the most powerful entities in Hell. Adam is fucking dead, and Nifty is the one who killed him. I gotta say, I expected Adam to die, and there were many people who could have made a satisfying kill for him. I personally thought it was going to be Alistair or Lucifer, but the fact that one of the most unassuming and kind of adorable characters just blindsides him with a backstab and excitedly does it a million more times when he's down, I literally got up and cheered for her in this moment. Unfortunately, Adam was not the only loss, and Sir Pentious was murdered by the first man himself before his demise. However, it didn't end there. You see, Pentious died sacrificing himself to save the rest of the hotel and his friends. For this selfless act, after his double death, he ascended to heaven. Pentious proved that redemption is possible. And this has quite a few ramifications. First off, this means that the goal of the hotel is not a lost cause, because they have at least one confirmed success, even if he had to die first. By the way, would someone have to double die to ascend? For that matter, since Adam's soul was killed as he was doing horrible shit, could Adam remanifest as a demon? What about Charlie and Sir Pentious? Could we see a scene where Charlie and the Snake Man reunite as she visits heaven? That'd be so cute! Also, what does this mean for the system of heaven in general? Obviously, this is only scratching the surface of questions about the possibility of...
By the way, I wanted to add my own thing. I don't think I talked about this in the video that I made. I wanted to say there's a very subtle detail in the final episode whenever Sir Pentious goes to heaven and he ascends. You see Emily is like, she's Emily, and she's all happy to see him because I assume that she's like, oh, it works because he wasn't in heaven before and he doesn't look like a regular person like the rest of us. So it must have been Charlie's plan working. But Sarah had this like scared shitless face where she looked like she was like, oh my God, the plan works. And I just went against everything. And I am responsible for so many people's unnecessary deaths. I don't know if he's going to talk about this. Maybe he will, but just in case he didn't, I wanted to bring it up because I noticed that and I wanted to bring it up, but I forgot to put it in the video. I'll make a part 2 if you guys want it. Just let me know. But anyway.
Redemption. And I think the idea of redemption and condemnation in these two realms could be explored much further in season 2. Maybe Pentious becomes some sort of hell ambassador. Maybe Adam gets his remanifested demonic butthole sold.
Wow, what a good place to pause. Hey, look. Sir Pentious being a celebrity in heaven. I don't know. But being a celebrity in heaven. So I have So he mentioned my thing. I personally think it's going to be more of an experimentation type thing, like that Project Alf movie. Can't believe that Charlie Sin is being hopeful. Like, what's wrong with being hopeful? And she just wants people to go to heaven and stuff. But since he got redeemed to heaven, Charlie was happy. I think I know what you're saying. So yeah, her whole thing was she was hopeful, and that was the problem. I don't know how that was a problem, Sir Pentious doesn't deserve redemption. Bro said, because I'm doing sex. That is one of my favorite quotes from the whole show. My number one has to be whenever I said this in the song ranking video. Whenever Charlie figures out that Adam is the first man, Adam, and she's like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." And he just goes, "I know, I fucking rock." That's got to be my favorite. But Sir Pentious is like long running joke, not long running, but his repeating joke of because I'm buying drinks for everyone. And then he's like, hey, Cherry Bomb, would you like, I see the club has a sex room. Would you like to do well, because I'm doing it with everyone. That should get him redeemed. That is the most redeeming quality. Scrambled Matt. I like that username, by the way.
The Valentino. The possibilities are endless. Moving on from this, let's get into what's in store for everyone's favorite strawberry pimp. First off, Alistair almost got himself killed by Adam in the best battle of the season, in my opinion, but
the
escaped
original
by the skin of his sharp yellow teeth. He's likely going to be recovering for at least a little of season 2. After a little respite in his own little radio land, he returns to the hotel. Now
I'm sorry, I'll go back. I missed a little bit of that. I'm sorry. But I do want to say, unfortunately, I don't think that Adam's coming back. I'm sorry. I want him to. I love Adam to death, and I would be so thrilled to see him again in season 2, even if it was just a cameo. But I don't think he's coming back. What was I gonna say? No, I lost it. Let's keep going.
The skin of his sharp yellow teeth. He's likely going to be recovering for at least a little of season 2. After a little respite in his own little radio land, he returns to the hotel, now rebuilt and upgraded.
Did you know Husk's pupils are small, but whenever he looks at Angel, his pupil goes. I'm going to guess that means grows. Oh, goes big. That shows he actually loved Angel. Yes, absolutely. I think I don't really know if I buy into the Husk Angel Dust thing. I think that they're better as friends, but if they do become like a gay couple, I'm all for it. But I don't know. I feel like their dynamic is so like friends that pick on each other. But if they do become a gay couple, which I'm totally for, if they do become a gay couple, I think that it should continue the same dynamic of they're picking on each other, and Angel is making uncomfortable sex jokes to Husk because that's just their thing. Hi, honey. I love you too. Good to see you, honey. Good to see you. Good to see you in the stream. I got a theory. He gonna come back as in hell as a sinner. Yes. Oh my God. That was what I was going to say before I lost my train of thought. Yes. I think that he will come back as a sinner if he does come back, because, it makes sense. Pentious died in hell, got redeemed to go to heaven. We all know he will. He's actually human, bro. We all know that he's going to return to hell as a sinner. I mean, yeah, if he does return to the series, he's got to come back. I don't know if you guys have seen the fan-made song Hellhole, but I would love to see I'm sorry. I'd love to see him as a sinner. Can't believe that Emily is question heaven now. She is going to be a fallen angel soon. No, I don't know if she's going to be a fallen angel. She's much too pure. I mean, don't get me wrong. She is a real one for sticking up for Charlie and all them. But you got to think. I mean, they go based on morality, and Emily's morality is pretty straightforward. He'll be home soon. Gonna eat fam. Okay. Yeah, take your time, honey. Take your time. I mean, spend time with them because we live an hour away. Who cares about him? About Adam? I love him. Love that. I will cry if she's a fallen angel. Me too, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love her and Charlie and their dynamic, and I think that they are terrific together. But Emily is too sweet, innocent, pure, and kind for hell. It's like I don't think that fits her. But I would love, honestly, I just want everyone to come back. I don't care. Even if it's like Adam, I want to see God. Because like, I mean, what's that going to be like? God, like the guy who makes all of this, like the stuff. That was the best way anybody's ever described. Let's keep going.
Thanks to Lucifer. In the final 2 episodes, Alistair also gets Charlie to owe him a favor in exchange for the information that angels can be killed. And we likely will have Alistair calling on that favor in some way in season 2. Now, Charlie is the type of person to help someone just because she wants to. So any sort of favor that Alistair needs to pre-establish must be a pretty big ask. However, there's one caveat to the favor in that Alistair can't use it to get Charlie to harm anyone. I still think it's going to be a big part of Season 2 in one way or another. We also get a moment where Alistair is brainstorming plans to free his soul from whoever owns it, and I think that might be his Season 2 arc. And he might be using Charlie's favor to help with that. Moving on.
Okay, so clearly my theories that I had were not very original. Still, I think they're pretty valid. Lilith betrays her family traitor. I mean, I feel like she already kind of has, you know? I mean, how do you leave Lucifer? He was such a caring father. Excuse me. Jesus. Family ends up in hell. I think Charlie and Emily will become besties. They're already besties. You can already tell. But yeah, I think so. My only concern about that storyline is I feel like maybe they would do like that. Vaggie is like jealous of Emily, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I really hope not. How did Serpentius get redeemed, but Angel didn't? I know he is a prone. I don't know if I can say that on here. A prone star, but his heart is in the right place. Angel go to heaven. Well, see, the thing is, Serpentius went to heaven because he started out evil, went to hell, was still evil, turned to Charlie and them as a good guy, died in battle for the right reasons, and his heart became pure, which is why whenever he ascended to heaven, he had like hearts all over his costume. So I think that's why an Angel Dust didn't die. That's the problem. Can Charlie be redeemed? Oh, and sorry. But does Valentino still going to own his soul? That is a good question. If if Angel dies and gets redeemed and sent to heaven, does Valentino's deal automatically like cancel? Or is he still like, you got to come down here? That's a good question. Can Charlie be redeemed? I don't believe so, because she is the daughter of Lucifer. And I don't think she wants to be redeemed. I think she just wants to help others. Because I think she's content with hell. I mean, she is the princess of it. I am not talking bad about Lucifer. He is my favorite character, spoiler alert. That voice could sing me to sleep every night. I'll just say that. I love Lucifer more than anything. V's versus Hazbins, I would love that. That would be amazing, especially if it was like an actual battle. Question, why you only got 3 people watching? 5, actually. Check your numbers, dude or dudette. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't really have that big of a following. Yeah, I got 5 people, idiot. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. I would love to get more. If you want, hey, I invite you all to share this stream with other Hazbin Hotel nerds who are mentally ill, just like the rest of us. If you want to bring more people in, definitely do it. I need to lower this chair. That's better. I'm about to say, I was looking down the whole time. That's way better. You are a nerd, but 500, I wish. Then I could get paid. Sorry. Let me fix this. But 254 subs. That's right. 254. Never done before. Maybe I should just shut up and play the video. You are a nerd, just like me. Will Lilith be seen? You're subbing now? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You get the sub clap. Subscribe to me now. You get 2 sub claps. I'll make it 3 if you like. Sorry. Will Lilith be seen? I think, yeah. I mean, see, us seeing her at the very end. You sub? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Her being seen at the very end, I feel like that will, like at the very end of season 2, that insinuates that. I feel like that insinuates that she will be a rather large part in season 2 or 3, or 3. Oh my god, 257 subscribers! Thank you so much. I really appreciate that very, very much. Let's see if we can get myself to 300. 300 by Halloween. Let's make that goal. Let's see if that'll happen. Don't feel like you got to do anything extra for me, though. I love you all very, very much. You are my children. That was a weird thing to say. Let's just get back to the video. I should probably stop talking.
The V's are going to be going after the power vacuum
one
that
now.
the giant battle in hell left.
W
Evidently, from their song, overlords have been destabilized, namely Alistair. And the V's are likely going to be looking to concentrate more power in their media and technology empire in Season 2. The V's claim that Alistair is missing shortly before he shows back up at the hotel in the same ending song, so I think that Vox might just be basing that on the fact that he dissolved into shadow mid-fight. Regardless, if the V's are going to attempt to use any time...
Sorry. Is she allowed to go to heaven, though she left her own daughter? Plus, I don't know if she got redeemed. Just went in. That's a good question, actually. I don't think she can be redeemed because she was like the, how do I say it? She was the one who basically was the original sinner, I guess is the best way to put it. Subscribed when you came on. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna start doing that unironically. I don't know where she is though. I think that there was some sort of deal made, and Lilith has some sort of power through Lucifer, maybe, or Adam. I'm not sure. How dare you make me pick favorite Hazbin Hotel song? Never mind. Oh, you don't want to sub to me anymore. That's fine. That's okay. You don't have to subscribe to me if you don't want to, but definitely subscribe to me. Favorite Hazbin Hotel song. There are different categories for that for me, but all of them, I got to go with More Than Anything, because that really just hits. That makes me want to have a daughter one day so I could sing that song to her, because, God, I love that song so much. Where was Alistair before he came back to Pentagram City? You know, I don't know. That's a theory that I actually don't think I've ever looked into, because I don't know. That's always been one of the biggest mysteries. Cursed Alistair cat. Lilith owns your soul. Lilith owns all of our souls, man. I'm sorry to tell you. She is the queen. We must bow down to her. I should take that gay test that's on screen. Yeah, no dust, Sherlock. No dust. No dust. No dust, no must. Okay, let's get back to the video because I feel like you guys are getting bored, and I do not blame you. I am yapping.
That he's recovering to secure more power, I can almost guarantee there's going to be a conflict between them in Season 2. Finally, there's also the ending scene of the show,
there you go,
where Lilith is hanging out on a beach in heaven before a now one-armed Lute demand that she finally go deal with her daughter or she'll be kicked out. The ending scene confirms that if Season 2 were to be greenlit, Lilith is going to be playing a major part in it, and she will probably not be a good guy. I've never met her, but still somehow hated her this whole time. I guess I just have good instincts. We also learn in this scene that Lilith has just been chilling on a beach in heaven this whole time, either completely oblivious or entirely uncaring that her daughter is struggling for her life and the lives of her people. Oh yeah, Lucy's the deadbeat. Shut the fuck up, Lilith. You've been living in fucking Margaritaville this whole time. All of this is where we are left at the end of Season 1. Hazbin was by no means a perfect show, but I think it was an amazing show. A show that encapsulates many things that adult animation can represent beautifully, and things that I've really missed from this genre that are really refreshing to see again. A show that depicts what happens when the best of two mediums, TV and YouTube, hell, three mediums, including song, can come together to show the best of all of them. When I started my journey in media, I looked to the YouTube pilot for this show as inspiration, and seeing all that it's blossomed into now is something that inspires me even more. I have a special connection to this show because I would want to do something similar to what its creator did. And it gives me hope. In a weird way, when I watch this, I feel like my hope for my own show is the same as Charlie's hope for her hotel. As someone up against what feels like an unknowable horror that is the algorithms, trying to escape the meat grinder of social media platforms to make a show, it feels like Vivzy put a lot of her real life struggle into Charlie, which personally, I really appreciated. If you like animated productions, check out mine. There's a lot more to come, and I'm going to shamelessly plug it. Fuck you. If you like this video, you should like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications enabled, or I'll buy your soul and make you make my Smasher Pass thumbnails. Also, watch for more Hazbin content, because apparently I do that now too. Shout out to you.
Literally me. Literally me. Oh man. Let's go back and see. I love how there's a gay test just right there. Let's see, season 2. You could tell where I found some of my images. What really happened? Wait, sorry. Let me get back down. What really happened between Lucifer and the other angels? What do you mean? I mean, it was like the story of Lucifer falling from heaven, I guess. I love these ads. Perfect for that. Hey, look at that. Hey, all right. My very amazing, totally not terrible thumbnail. Hey, look at that. All right. Oh, yeah. Erica Henningsen in the booth for Hazbin Hotel Season 2. Very excited. W thumbnail. Thank you. Thank you. Alistair. Okay, not going to look at that. The villains, Season 2 theories. Busy pop hints on Season 2. Oh my gosh. Alistair gets angry. That. Oof, man, that one. Okay, I like this one. The tragic truth about Alistair's deal. Let's check this one out.
Please do guess. I'd love to know the theories.
Okay, do you want them in alphabetical order or from most likely to least likely?
Fair enough.
Favorite.
Fair enough.
Box bites. If there's one thing that the Hazbin Hotel fandom can unanimously agree on, besides, well, all of this, it's the fact that the mystery of Alistair's supposed leash is pretty cut and dry. Survey says that he's most definitely under the stylish heel of the underworld's number one villain. You know.
What a frame to... Hold on, just go back. Hold on. Okay. I wanted to address this. I can't believe some people ship Angel Dust and Valentino. I don't know why I said it like that. Angel Dust and Valentino? That's a very abusive relationship. That's like, it's not even a relationship. It's a contract, is what it is. Yeah, I don't know how you can see those two together. I mean, Valentino literally is it's weird. It's weird.
Under the stylish heel of the underworld's number one milk. You know, monarch I'd likely fear. Seriously, this girl is terrifying. But if I can add some spice to the gumbo before it's served to the masses, I think that this supposed Lilith lead is a big old red herring. I do believe that Al and Lil have some kind of relationship going on, and potentially one that involves mutual benefits, but in my eyes, she is not the one who has the radio demon's soul in chains. In fact, he's not the only one in chains, period. There's a much deeper looming truth in regard to who owns whom in the land down under. And the answer may very well make you scream. So, saddle up your shoes and give the edges of your seat a squeeze, because this airwave newsie's got one hell of a doozy for you tonight. Let's get right into the show. Let's begin by talking about the very bizarre power sets of our two broadcast buddies, starting with Lilith. Now, we know from Charlie's storybook that when Lucifer and his wife were cast down into the fire and the flames, Lucifer's confidence was snuffed out while Lilith's burned brighter than ever, using her magical music and songs to inspire the people of hell and essentially create a functioning civilization from a brimstone-laden wasteland of nothing. But there's one question I've always had. How in the literal hell did Lilith get this kind of power? We know from Hazbin lore that human sinners, which Lilith is, essentially start off with nothing, but they're able to move up the ranks of society by either making deals for souls or taking them by force. Like, there's no way that she magically got these powers just from showing up. Lucifer has powers, sure, but those were just carryovers from when he was an angel. It's not like they were a random welcome gift when he set up shop in the fiery pits. Maybe she made soul deals with every single sinner that entered the underworld? But then if she already owns every single soul in hell, then no one would be able to make deals for them since she'd essentially have dibs on everyone. Plus, the way that the story is framed, it makes it look like Lilith already had these powers before Hell's population got super big, as if she was capable of this sinful singing from the very start of her queenly career.
I'm in hell. I'm singing!
Not to mention the thematic clash of old Lily being a symbol of independence, so having her harboring the souls of everyone she rules wouldn't make much sense. There's a similar issue in play with Alistair. The second my dude set his hooves on this sadistic cesspit, he was armed with nothing but a devilish smile and a professional demeanor. A D-tier demon at best. Or so they thought. Because out of nowhere, he started piling up the bodies of Hell's biggest bosses with strength that seemed to come out of nowhere. I mean, the dude is a serial killer, so he probably knows how to skillfully slit a throat or two, but that doesn't explain the giant freaking shadow tendrils he can somehow manifest at will. He had to have earned these powers from an outside source, and in a speedy fashion, too, considering how quickly he made waves and then broadcasted them. I also want to point out the unique aesthetic of Alistair's powers real quick. Every time this guy does something fantastical, it's accompanied by these small symbols known as veve. Veve are used primarily in Haitian voodoo and later Louisiana voodoo to act as a beacon for summoning entities known as the Loa, who act as a link between humanity and Bondi, who is essentially the god of the voodoo religion. It's possible that this is just an aesthetic choice since Big Al is confirmed to be a Louisiana lad, but in a weird way, it kind of implies that every use of Alistair's power involves channeling the strength of some higher deity in order to pull it off, further suggesting that he's essentially just running off a battery of much higher power instead of just possessing the power himself. So long story short, we essentially have two human sinners who reached immense power extremely quickly with no known reason as to why. And the only reasons I could come up with are immediately shot down, either due to story or thematic reasons. So what exactly is the deal with these two? Or more specifically, who made a deal with these two? Well, to answer that question, we need to introduce a brand new character that was created by Vivzy Pop herself and shelved for later use.
Hi!
This lovely specimen right here is known as Rue, and was stated by Viv to be a looming threat currently waiting in the shadows of the
looks like
Hazbin
a threat.
universe. Apparently, there is no character in the show that she is more excited to get into than her, but it's going to be a long time before that happens. At the moment, we have no idea what she is, where she came from, or what she could do. All we know is that she's presumed to be a future big bad in the series, she's a demon by species, and her name is short for Root of All Evil. Now, this is all just speculation, but I like to imagine that based on her name, which means origin of all evil, and her extremely monstrous design, that Rue is the first ever time that evil was given a proper,
That's a good theory.
tangible
Rue is
form.
Eve.
Rue is essentially evil incarnate. If you remember the opening story in Overture, evil technically did exist before the Earth was even created, so it was always around. You can even see it with a creepy, red-eyed, menacing grin if you pause and look at it. But only after Eve's little fruit snack were the forces of evil able to spread their influence to the realm of humans, allowing for the first ever demons to actually emerge in a newly formed realm of darkness. Now, I did see a lot of people predicting that Rue actually is Eve, and in a way, that does kind of make sense. But personally, I think it would be even more tragic and cruel if Rue actually based her newly formed identity around Eve as a twisted way to both thank her and kind of mock her for her foolish choice. Like, imagine Eve getting sent to hell after she dies, which I think we all expect to happen. And when she eventually meets up with Rue, she sees a cursed reflection of her own identity. The same gender, same body, and same face, with a smile much like the one she had on the day she bit that fruit. But all of it is gnarled up in unholy knots and morphed into a demonic abomination. Rue gives their sincerest thanks to Eve, for if not for her, the world would not be a fertile playground for their sinister roots, and they would not have their glorious new form, nor would any other demon for that matter. It's all because of her. Then Eve, stricken with fear, guilt, disgust, and pretty much any other emotion a person could feel, ends up fleeing to the outskirts of the Pride Ring, away from Pentagram City, away from civilized society, seen by very few and remembered by even less, to the point where she is all but forgotten, aside from being a footnote in Hell's greater history. Until Charlie and the main cast eventually find her and maybe ask her for her help, but hey, that's a theory for another time. So let's get back to this one. So if my belief is correct, that Rue is essentially pure evil taken shape, then she would have existed even before Lucifer and Lilith were sent to hell themselves. When the couple eventually do hit rock bottom, though, that's where things get interesting. Lucifer obviously becomes a depressed, crushed dream sad boy, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, and while he technically does still hold the title of regality, and of course still has his angel powers, he rarely partakes in many world duties and just coops himself up in his workshop, meaning it's up to the power of Whammon to pick up the slack. Being a human sinner, Lilith doesn't really have any power at first, and despite her hard work, kind-hearted motherly energy, and encouraging voice, she's barely able to get anything done. And with a population that's rapidly rising and a husband who's as useful as damp toilet paper, she's completely strapped for options.
Be nice.
That is until she hears a very quiet voice speaking in her ear, as if it's whispering right to her. It tells her to go to a certain location in hell far away from where she and Lucifer are currently living. And after following those directions, she comes face to face with Rue. When speaking to Lilith for the first time, Rue gives off the vibe of a very comforting, warm person who just wants to help. And Lilith, after everything she went through at the hands of Heaven and Adam, desperately needs that right now. They get to talking, and the first thing that Lilith asks is how she was able to do that thing with her voice. How was she able to speak to her from such a far distance away? Rue says that it's just a power she's always had. In fact, she has a lot more where that came from. Problem is, she's kinda stuck where she is, literally rooted to the spot that she's in and unable to move around, like a half-woman, half-tree situation. She wishes that she could use her abilities more effectively to help others, but I guess that's just not in the cards for someone as stationary as her. But then Rue comes up with an idea. Lilith and her clearly have the same motive of wanting to help demonkind, as far as Lilith knows anyway. And maybe with Rue's power and Lilith's more mobile form, they can turn hell into a much more thriving place. All Lilith would have to do is make a soul-binding deal with her so she can transfer her power over to her. Lilith is a little skittish at first since she's never made a deal before, but then she thinks back to all the demons in her home, how lost they are, how in need of hope and leadership they are, and she decides that this is all for the greater good. The deal is made, and as a result, Lilith is gifted with a unique set of demonic powers, most notably a boost to her beautiful voice, allowing it to not only reach all across hell, but inspire hope and strength in its denizens.
So
kind of like a warped version of Rue's little widespread speaking ability, but more custom-made to fit Lilith's talents. And with these new gifts, Lilith is able to grow hell into a thriving civilization with homes, businesses, and future prospects. Not exactly a pristine place, but at the very least a livable one, and one that she hopes to only improve with time as more subjects enter her queendom. Okay, that definitely explains how Lilith powered up, but what exactly does Rue get out of this deal? I mean, she's obviously not doing it for the reason she says. She must have an ulterior motive, right? Well, this is where things get creepy. One of the biggest mysteries in both Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss is what exactly happens to the souls of demons when they die. Heck, Angel Dust even blatantly references this in the pilot. Well, continuing on with Rue's little root motif, I actually like to believe that when a demon or sinner dies in hell, their soul actually gets absorbed by Rue and gives her more power. Every sinner that dies a second time allows Rue to rise in strength and even gain new abilities, similar to how sinners gain power when they obtain living demon souls. It's as if the blood of the fallen demon corpses is watering the roots of her mighty tree, and their decaying bodies fertilize her and give her nutrients. That would definitely be a unique and horrifying answer to this age-old question. Another unique use of her roots could involve the ability to tap into the minds of anyone with original sin, human or demon, so she can influence them in a devil on your shoulder kind of way. This would make sense if she was actually evil incarnate, since sin is almost always about giving into temptation. She can be the little voice in your head urging you to make the wrong choices. And it would also explain how she was able to speak to Lilith from so far away. So, once again, if you're wondering what Rue gets out of this deal, she essentially just hired a groundskeeper to tend to a garden of constantly repopulating power sources for her sinister needs. The more the Hell natives reproduce, the more souls will be wired to her account when they eventually fall to the chaotic nature and debauchery of their home turf. Heck, if you also consider that both Lilith and Carmilla had kids despite being human sinners, this means that sinners are able to reproduce as well, which just adds even more potential fuel to Rue's little fire. In a tragic turn of events, the woman that made the bold choice to flee from a garden that was oppressing her ends up tending to a new garden of food for a new evil oppressor. Even when Lilith eventually finds out that Rue is not as selfless as she first appeared, it wouldn't even matter. A deal is still a deal, and Rue technically owns her soul. She could force Lilith into silence, tell her to pick up the pace, even torture her if she wanted. Their contract is binding, and all Lilith could do was just make the afterlives of her people as decent as possible before they eventually die again and are doomed to be absorbed by Rue's roots. You might think that I sound a little insane, but not only would this make the fact that Lilith has powers both plausible and thematically tragic, but it could also explain some minor things that we see throughout the series as well. Like, why does she want to keep Charlie away from Lucifer as much as possible? It's presumed that she wants Charlie to grow up to be a dignified and powerful leader and avoid being too much of a dreamer like her dad, but maybe she's also training Charlie to harness her natural demonic powers to a point where she never has to make a deal with a demon like Rue, essentially saving her daughter from a lifetime of servitude that she was sadly forced to endure due to her lack of power. But despite her best efforts, Charlie did eventually grow into more of a passionate dreamer than a by-the-books leader, coming up with crazy schemes about redemption or rainbows or whatever. And while she doesn't say it to her face, Lilith does start to lose hope that Charlie will ever be able to lead her people properly. It seems like it'll just be her wearing the queen's crown for all eternity until it's ripped from her head or it falls right off of it. Something that at this point, she'd kind of be okay with. As hell continues to evolve and develop, so too do the sinners that enter it. So much so that certain sinners actually start making unique names for themselves, crafting their own deals with the demons of the depths and becoming more powerful than the average Joe. Hence, the age of the overlords emerges, creating an entirely new tier in hell's social hierarchy as its denizens rack up souls for themselves. Rue takes notice of what these ambitious sinners are doing and is not only impressed, but actually thinks up a way to use this to her advantage. What if she had an overlord of her very own? A hitman of sorts that could challenge these big shot soul harboring hellions, but in this case, every soul that they gain through deals and or force goes directly to her. That's way more efficient than just waiting around for demons to die, but she's not going to go for an overlord already in hell. She needs a piece of fresh meat with no horse in this race that she can craft into the perfect side-on. So she decides to reach out to a still living human sinner incognito with just her voice and essentially talk them into making a deal with her, under the guise of being some kind of deity or supernatural entity that humans are known to worship. But which human would she pick? It'd need to be someone already experienced with taking lives. Someone cunning yet still carnivorous. Someone bloodthirsty but not meathead. Someone she can work together with and give advantages to in exchange for potential servitude.
I don't know what would happen.
Maybe, I don't know, a serial killer radio host from down in New Orleans? Just a thought.
Working with Thrive-In on my finances has allowed me to go all in on using my passion to uplift the lives around me.
You know, that's really great. I don't remember asking, but that's great. There we go. Yeah.
Yup, at long last, Alistair finally enters the picture. As confirmed by Viv, Alistair is a notorious serial killer who originates from New Orleans, Louisiana, with a mixed Creole heritage. He died in 1933 during his 30s, meaning he was around for most of the early 19th century. And one of the most noteworthy religions back then, even existing to this very day, is the Voodoo religion. Now, it's never been stated if Alistair believes in this religion at all, but given that he grew up in the area, I imagine he'd at least be aware of it, and might even know a bit about it, its deities, its impact on the culture, etc. And Rue sees this as the perfect way to speak with him while keeping her identity a secret. At one point when Alistair's all alone, maybe asleep in his bed or something, Rue begins speaking to Alistair in his head, much in the same way that she spoke with Lilith long ago. She claims to be a Loa, which we already talked about before, and wishes to strike a deal with him as their interests of punishing wrongdoers coincide. Since Alistair is a killer of mostly cruel-hearted people, this Loa agrees to help Alistair in his murderous endeavors in exchange for any immortal souls that he reaps. Alistair, as we know, is under the belief that most of humanity has already had their chance and failed miserably, so he's more than happy to deliver more justice than he already has. And besides, what is he going to do with a bunch of souls anyway? Take him and torture him for all he cares. So for the rest of Alistair's mortal life, the Loa and him work together as a team. Rue, being able to tap into any sinner, is able to tell Alistair where they're going to go at any given time, so that he can plan his kills much quicker and more efficiently. In a weird way, it's almost like he's
Thank you for
tuning
Alex,
into
by
the
the way. I really
radio
appreciate
signals
it.
of sinners and using that to his
Appreciate it a
advantage.
lot.
His body count almost doubles in half the time thanks to this new unholy assistance. And he still manages to keep as low-key as possible and just lives his best life as a radio star. Vivsy's words, not mine. Eventually, though, the unfortunate moment happens where he's burying his latest kill in the deer hunting grounds and he's shot by a hunter by accident.
Classic backstory.
When he eventually wakes up in hell, he's a little peeved that he makes such a rookie mistake, as he could have done a lot more during his lifetime. But then Rue, the Loa, begins speaking again and reassures Alistair that his job does not have to end with death. The afterlife is chock full of people even more cruel and sinister than the ones that died by his hands. And with demonic powers on their side, they're capable of even worse wrongdoings. However, they can be killed again with the proper strength and planning. Wouldn't it be nice to get rid of these wretched beings once and for all, have them suffer and die a second time? They'd certainly deserve it, wouldn't they? And luckily, now that Al is no longer confined to the mortal plane, the Loa can offer him much more assistance. This is where Alistair gets his signature dark powers, taking on a voodoo aesthetic to keep up the illusion that this is from a Loa. And with ease, he starts picking off heavy hitters faster than you can say, "That's all, folks." Rue provides Alistair with all his powers, as well as some insider intel on what the Overlord's weaknesses are, just like back on Earth, while every soul that he reaps goes directly to her. For a time, things seem to be going smoothly. That is until one fateful battle that changed everything. A conflict with a certain TV-faced titan. Yeah, remember that fight against Vox where Alistair quote-unquote almost beat him? Well, I like to think that Rue actually had a bigger hand in that defeat than you might think. We know that Alistair despises Vox. He hates his modern technological aesthetic, he hates his widespread popularity, he hates his stupid, dumb face. So when Alistair made the choice to try bringing him down and claiming all the turf and souls he had earned, Rue once again tries to give Alistair some info in order to make the fight easier. But Alistair, fueled by pure rage and ego more so than ever before, actually dismisses Rue outright and states that he can handle this fight himself. During the fight, Rue continuously warns him that dismissing her is a foolish endeavor that he will pay dearly for, but he continues to ignore her. So as a way to solidify who's in charge here, Rue momentarily weakens Alistair's powers during the climax of the fight, allowing Vox to gain the upper hand and Alistair to end up in a near-death situation, forcing him to flee from combat. As he lies beaten and bloody in an alleyway somewhere, he hears the voice of the Loa once again.
Maybe you don't quite understand our relationship. Your hellish intelligence was provided by me. Your powers were gifted by me. You belong to me. You've been cooperative so far, but if you even dare to step out of line again, for a minute assume that you can operate without me, a small glitch in your power set will be the least of your problems.
This is where their dynamic devolves from a symbiotic relationship to a straight-up master and slave situation. Alistair twitches with anger and fear at this chilling speech, and eventually passes out from exhaustion and blood loss. Rue initially plans to bring him back to full health right away, expecting him to be more obedient now that he knows who's in charge. But one person stops her, offering to try something else. Lilith. Now, Lilith was not an idiot. She was able to pick up on Rue's little pet projects pretty quickly, despite Rue never revealing them herself. When she caught wind of an OP antlered overlord trouncing around and swiping souls easily despite only being in hell for a short while, she recalled her own experience of gaining massive power despite a short time in hell, and a certain someone became prime suspect pretty quickly. She was also made aware of a certain rumor that was being spread throughout hell about an overpopulation problem, which eventually caught the ear of heaven, leading to a yearly extermination event. She was never able to identify patient zero of this rumor, but when she really thought about it, who would benefit more than anybody from a bunch of sinners in the ground? Maybe the demon who feeds on their souls when they're double dead? But even when Lilith confronts Rue about these things and
I
she
need to
admits
review
to
that
them,
movie.
there isn't really anything
I
she
need
can
to
do
review
about
Puss
it.
in Boots: The
Lilith is
Last
still
Wish.
under Rue's control, so she's basically unable to say
Aladdin.
anything to
Favorite
anyone.
Disney movie.
Heck, maybe if she tries to bring it up to someone, Rue threatens to take her voice away completely, considering she's the one who empowered it in the first place. She's now stuck with this knowledge of Rue rigging the game without any freedom to tell anyone. At this point, Lilith is starting to lose all hope for her kingdom. It was okay before, but now Rue's got her fingers on so many strings that this once livable place is devolving more and more into chaos. And the worst part is that there's no way for her people to escape this torment for good. Or is there? Yeah, on top of hearing what Rue's been up to, Lilith has also been keeping tabs on her daughter with her whole Redeeming Sinners project. At first, she thought this idea was completely foolish, but the more she thinks about it, the more she starts to realize that this may be the only hope that hell has to really end the suffering of its people.
I gotta be honest. I kind of lost my. I kind of got lost, and I just kept going, and I don't know. Let's just do something else. let's just watch something else. Because honestly, I don't know about you, but I'm getting kind of bored. Not gonna lie. Is there just something shorter? Yep, there I am. I want to do like a shorter one, I guess. Or I guess we can read some. Actually, let's read some of the comments on. Let's read some of the comments on my channel. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know who these guys are. Okay. So let's go ahead and check out. These are all, yep. I feel like I've already reacted to them though, so it kind of seems. Okay. There we go. Okay. Honestly, I'm good. I think that's pretty good for now. Thank you guys so much for joining and checking this out and subscribing. And why does my face look like that? Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing and for commenting on the live and everything. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being so interactive and being so kind. I appreciate it a lot. But probably going to head out. I have some projects I got to get done both for YouTube and for classes. So probably classes first and then YouTube. Let's see, now I'm stubborn because I want to wait until the 1 hour mark so I could say I went live for an hour. So I guess I'll stay on for a couple minutes. See ya. Oh, man. Peace. Yeah, man. Before I go, how has everybody's day been so far? I want to hear about it. How has your guys' days been? Been good? Let me know what you guys did. You guys eat something? You better have. You better have eaten something. It's good to eat food. My doctor told me that. How do I get rid of this like filter thing? Pop-Tarts? Hell yeah. What kind of Pop-Tarts? That's the important thing. That's the important thing. Me, I go with hot fudge. That's my favorite for sure. I always go with that. Strawberry, that's solid. That's a solid pick. I'll be honest. I used to really like the brown cinnamon and sugar, but I don't know. They just taste bland to me. But strawberry is definitely a good pick. I don't even like strawberry flavored things that much, but strawberry Pop Tarts always hit right. They always hit the way that they're supposed to hit, if that makes sense. Yeah, but oh man, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the 1 hour mark because I want to say I went live for an hour because I'm stubborn like that. Maybe next time I can throw some music on or something. I'll try to figure out how to do that. Technically I'm still live. Well, yeah, I am still live, but technically I'm still new to live streaming because the last time I went live, besides the last live stream on here, before that, the most recent live stream besides this one and the previous one is 2019, I believe. So about 5 years ago or so. So it's been a while. So I'm still learning. Plus, there's been so many new features on YouTube Live that I haven't quite gotten to look into yet. But it looks like we just hit the 1 hour mark. So thank you all so much, very, very much for coming on and interacting, liking, subscribing, commenting, joining the live chat, sending the likes through the live chat. I really appreciate that very, very much. But I guess it's time to say goodbye. But once again, thank you so much. Let me know what else you want to see, by the way. Before I go, let me know what all you want to see. Comment on my videos. I'll put out a YouTube poll. In fact, I'll do that right now before I leave. Post. Okay. Videos would you like to see future? Comment them below. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Let me share my screen real quick one more time before I go. There we go. Okay. So obviously you got the Hazbin Hotel theories, but this right here, what videos would you like to see in the future? Comment them below. Comment them right here on the community post tab. Comment that right there. Let's see. All right. Be sure to comment and all that. And of course, subscribe, like, turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos by me. All that good stuff. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And make sure to go and comment on that YouTube post. Telling me what videos you guys would like. But until next time, I will see you guys later. Take it easy, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.